Hi, John. The video that you have shared with us is amazing, mate, and and that was really interesting. What you have written, that it's a strong desire of yours to be to Canada, someday. It's so exotic, isn't it? I I love that landscape as well, and I'm really curious about it as well. And I have seen that video where the guy he was walking there in the middle of the snow, and he has narrated to us all those incredible, all those dangers that they are over there. Cold is can be obviously really dangerous. um and I guess that I have a kind of love for that weather as well, that landscape. um I have to mention that I have been to the very south of Chile, Patagonia, and I have been there on winter time, right? Cause I know that most people go to these places when they are when it is when it is the summer, right? They go on summertime, for different reasons, and one of those is that they are a little bit afraid about the weather, right? But and typically, people go over there, and people from there, they tell them how the winter is, and they imagine it, right? I guess that something similar happens with Canada. I guess there are lots of tourists that go over there on summertime, right? But they listen, they imagine, and they listen how winter time is. But the 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 best thing to do is to check it out by yourself, right? By yourself. So that's, for example, why I have chosen to travel to Patagonia. Well, more a year and a half ago, on winter time, because I wanted to see by my own eyes how it was. I didn't want anybody to tell me how winter time was. So I have decided to go over there on winter time, right? When I went over there, I had a promotion that allowed me to go till, for example, February of 2018, right? But I rushed up, and I have gone on winter time. And well, nowadays I am posting those pictures, those videos on my personal account, right? So perhaps if you want to, you can see it. I'm posting pictures and videos every other day, right? Every other day. Well, don't, perhaps there can be some people who could get me wrong, and who could think that I am over there now, right? But no, I have been there, a kind, more or less, a year and a half ago, right? On the winter season of 2017. Okay, I'm going to pause a little bit. Okay, now I continue. As I have said, now I'm posting those pictures and videos, but I have been over there on winter time, right? I have been over there on winter time, and it was amazing. I have enjoyed it so much. There it is not crowded. That's really nice. I was I went in a hostel, I remember, and I was in a back. First, I was in a backpack, in a backpack place, right? A backpacker. I don't know how they say it, and I was alone. There were some Balkan beds. I guess that's how it is said, Balkan beds, and I was alone. A whole room for me. I remember that I slept there on a Balkan bed. There were two beds more, and the whole room was only for me. And there was another room. Nobody over there. That was amazing. And they were fixing some stuff over there, and they changed me. They moved me to another part, which was even more comfortable. So it was amazing, and I didn't feel the inside I didn't feel the coldness, cause there were stoves over there. Stoves, not stoves, stoves. There were stoves. It was really warm inside, so I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot, and I went to different places. And well, I guess that Canada has some similarity. I have an acquaintance who have been to Canada for holiday, but she has been there on summertime, right? She has been there on summertime, and well, it is different. In summertime, it's different. I have talked about this in another video, replying to RD and Patricio. They have been talking about this, about weather, and the thing is that in the northern hemisphere, it's different from the southern hemisphere, cause over there, there is a lot of land, right? There is so much land compared to the southern hemisphere. Okay, I'm going to pause it a little bit, and I want to talk about this later on. Okay, I was talking to you, Joan, about the differences between the northern and the southern hemisphere, and how it influences the weather, and that is due to the amount of land, right? The amount of land that exists in the northern and southern hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere, there is less seawater. There is less seawater, so that water regulates temperature, right? Regulates temperature. it has water has a lot of heat capacity, right? So then these extreme temperatures are not developed in absence of are not developed in presence of water, right? With presence of water, and is something that happens in the southern hemisphere compared to the northern hemisphere. So that's why over there, winter in for example in places like Canada, there is a wide difference between winter time and summertime, right? Well, I guess it's a little bit like the Antarctica, right? The Antarctica in the southern hemisphere, in the southern pole. That's why it's so. That's why it's so cold over there, right? It's so freezing. So, but there is another difference that exists in the very south of the southern hemisphere, is, for example, in places like Punta Arenas, Ushuaia, Falkland Islands, and other islands of the Atlantic Ocean. It's really windy, right? It's really windy because they don't have. On the other hand, they don't have the protection of the geography, right? So that makes those places more windy, right? They are windy, so the wind holds really strong over there. But it's different. Sometimes, for example, in this where I have been to, it snowed sometimes a little bit, and I have seen that sometimes the whole city of Punta Arenas is covered by snow sometimes. But in Canada, I've seen that in winter time it's always, right. And the explanation is that why I'm saying to you, right? The absence of seawater nearby, and the difference with the southern hemisphere is that over here it is more windy, right? And the wind is cold. I still remember when I get out of the van once, and oh, I felt really frozen, right? So that is amazing. So, well, thank you. I really love this topic, Joan. So that's why I have talked a little bit more. And okay, thanks. Thanks. Perhaps someday you can, if you go to Canada, please don't forget us. Shoot videos for us. Okay. Thank you very much. Bye bye.